Baltimore is getting ready, because the purple wave is coming. After electrifying New York and shaking the massive crowds at MetLife Stadium, BTS is now heading toward its next major destination, and this time the spotlight is falling directly on Baltimore, Maryland. The countdown has entered its final stage, army are gathering, fan events are taking over the city, and M&T Bank Stadium is preparing to become one of the most important stops on the BTS ARIRANG World Tour. On August 10th and August 11th, 2026, the home of Baltimore football will transform into a completely different world as thousands upon thousands of BTS fans prepare to fill the stadium with purple lights, music, chants, emotions, and memories that will likely stay with them for years to come. The official stadium schedule confirms BTS World Tour ARIRANG for both August 10th and August 11th, with the concert scheduled for 8 p.m. For ARMY, however, this is about much more than 2 concerts on a calendar. Baltimore represents another emotional chapter in BTS's long-awaited return to the American stage. After years of waiting, the 7 members are once again traveling together, standing together, singing together, and facing enormous stadium crowds that have been waiting for this moment for years. The atmosphere surrounding the Baltimore concerts is already building, with fan gatherings, pre-concert parties, karaoke events, cup-sleeve events, meetups, and other ARMY activities appearing across the city. Visit Baltimore has listed multiple BTS-related fan events surrounding the August 10th and 11th concerts, showing just how much the group's arrival is affecting the city before the first note is even played. And that is what makes the Baltimore stop so fascinating. BTS does not simply arrive in a city, perform, and leave. Wherever the group goes, ARMY creates an atmosphere that can be felt far beyond the stadium gates. Hotels, restaurants, transportation systems, entertainment districts, fan communities, and local businesses suddenly become part of the BTS experience. The concert becomes an entire weekend, an entire citywide celebration, and for some fans, an emotional pilgrimage. Baltimore now stands next in line. The question is no longer whether ARMY is excited. The question is just how big the purple takeover will become. The story begins only days earlier, when BTS returned to the New York metropolitan area for its highly anticipated MetLife Stadium shows on August 1st and August 2nd. Those performances marked a major moment in the group's American comeback. Reports from the concerts described an enormous audience, powerful fan chants, synchronized lightsticks, fireworks, and a setlist that combined new material from ARIRANG with songs that have become part of BTS history. One report described more than 82,000 fans attending the MetLife performances and highlighted the extraordinary atmosphere created by the audience. For many fans, seeing BTS back inside a major American stadium was emotional enough. But the tour did not stop there. The next destination was Foxborough, Massachusetts, where BTS performed at Gillette Stadium on August 5th and August 6th. And now, the tour moves south toward Baltimore. That movement has created a fascinating chain reaction among American ARMY. Fans who could not attend MetLife began preparing for Baltimore. Fans who attended New York began sharing memories, videos, outfits, lightsticks, banners, and emotional stories. Others began traveling from different states, turning the Baltimore concerts into a gathering point for fans from across the country. This is exactly what BTS concerts have become in the United States, not simply local events, but international fan gatherings. A person standing outside M&T Bank Stadium on August 10th could be from Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Massachusetts, California, or even another country entirely. The BTS ARMY has never been limited by geography, and Baltimore is preparing to prove that once again. The stadium itself provides the perfect setting. M&T Bank Stadium is one of Baltimore's most recognizable sports venues, but on these 2 nights its identity will temporarily change. Instead of being dominated by football colors, jerseys, and sports chants, the stadium will be filled with glowing purple lightsticks, BTS merchandise, concert outfits, banners, cameras, and fans waiting for the 7 members to appear. The transformation begins long before the doors open. Outside the stadium, the streets become part of the show. Fans arrive early. Some wear BTS-inspired outfits. Others carry handmade banners. Many bring army bomb light sticks carefully protected in bags until the moment they enter the venue. Groups of friends take photographs, trade photocards, exchange gifts, and search for other fans who share the same favorite member. And then there are the emotional reunions. For some ARMY, this will be the first time seeing BTS together in years. For others, it may be their first BTS stadium concert ever. Some fans will have followed the group since the early years, while younger fans may have discovered BTS during the period when the group was away from the stage. That mixture of generations is one of the most powerful elements of the BTS phenomenon. A mother may arrive with her daughter. Friends who met through BTS fandom may finally meet in person. Someone who spent years watching concerts through a phone screen may finally stand inside the stadium. A fan who thought they would never get another chance to see all 7 members together may suddenly hear the opening music and realize that the waiting is finally over. That is why the word comeback does not fully describe what is happening. For ARMY, this is a reunion. The BTS ARIRANG era has arrived after an unusually long period of anticipation. The group had been away from full-scale group touring while the members completed their mandatory military service, creating a period in which fans had to experience BTS through individual projects, old performances, social media moments, archival content, and memories. Now, everything feels different. The 7 members are together again. And the stadiums are waiting. The Baltimore concerts are especially significant because they represent another major American stadium chapter immediately following MetLife and Gillette. The tour schedule lists Baltimore for August 10th and August 11th, followed by Arlington, Texas, on August 15th and August 16th. That means Baltimore is not an isolated stop. It is part of a massive North American run. And every city brings its own personality. New York brought the enormous energy of the metropolitan area. Foxborough brought the atmosphere of a legendary sports venue outside Boston. Baltimore now has the opportunity to create something uniquely its own. ARMY is already calling the city a place where the purple wave is about to take over. The phrase "turn M&T Bank Stadium purple" may sound like a simple concert expression, but anyone who has seen a BTS stadium performance understands what it means. Imagine thousands of light sticks glowing at the same time. Imagine the stadium lights dropping. Imagine the crowd becoming almost completely dark. Then, one by one, purple lights begin appearing. First a few. Then hundreds. Then thousands. Then an entire stadium. From the stage, BTS would not simply see individual fans anymore. They would see a massive field of purple stretching from one section to another. That image has become one of the defining symbols of a BTS concert. The ARMY bomb is not merely merchandise. Inside the stadium, it becomes part of a coordinated visual experience. Fans synchronize their light sticks with the music, creating waves of color that move across the audience. For performers, that kind of audience response can be overwhelming. And for BTS, the emotional meaning may be even stronger now. The group has spent years away from full-scale group touring. They have experienced enormous changes individually and collectively. They have grown older, faced new responsibilities, completed military service, released new music, and returned to the stage with a perspective that is why every American stadium now carries an emotional question. How will BTS react when they see ARMY again? At MetLife, the answer appeared immediately. The members were greeted by a crowd that had waited years. Fans screamed. Light sticks filled the stadium. The members performed with a combination of confidence and emotion. And the audience sang along as though no time had passed. That emotional connection is likely to follow them to Baltimore. The anticipation in Baltimore is already visible through the number of fan activities scheduled around the concerts. Visit Baltimore lists events including Armland Baltimore, BTS ARMY Night, a pre-concert cup sleeve event, karaoke gatherings, a BTS Baltimore ARIRANG party, fan meetups, and other activities taking place around August 9th through August 11th.
This is important because it shows that the concert experience is beginning before the actual concert.
For many fans, August 9th is already part of the event.
The city becomes a meeting place. Fans can walk into a cafe and see BTS decorations.
They can attend a fan event and meet strangers who immediately feel like friends.
They can trade photo cards. They can take pictures.
They can discuss their favorite songs. They can debate which member will have the funniest moment on stage. They can wonder whether BTS will change the setlist. They can speculate about surprise moments. And most importantly, they can experience something that is difficult to explain to outsiders, the feeling of belonging to a massive community. That sense of community is one of BTS's greatest strengths. The members may stand on the stage, but the audience is part of the performance. When thousands of people sing the same lyrics, the sound becomes bigger than any individual voice. When the audience responds to a member's comment, the interaction becomes spontaneous. When a favorite song begins, the reaction can become louder than the opening notes.
And when the final song arrives, there is always that strange feeling that the night is ending too quickly.
Baltimore Army knows that feeling is coming.
But before the concert begins, there is another story unfolding. The city itself is preparing.
Baltimore is a city with its own cultural identity, sports history, waterfront attractions, food scene, neighborhoods, and passionate local communities.
Bringing BTS into that environment creates an unusual cultural collision. K-pop meets Baltimore. Korean pop culture meets an American football stadium. Global fandom meets local identity.
And for 2 nights, M&T Bank Stadium becomes the meeting point. That is why the title BTS Next Stop, Baltimore, feels so appropriate.
The next stop is not simply a location on a map.
It is the next chapter.
The next memory. The next stadium. The next audience. The next moment BTS and ARMY will share.
For longtime fans, there may also be a sense of nostalgia. BTS's history in the United States is filled with increasingly larger venues and increasingly bigger audiences. The group once performed in smaller theaters and arenas before becoming a stadium-level phenomenon. The scale of the current tour demonstrates how dramatically that relationship has grown. The Baltimore concerts are part of that evolution. The stadium is not just large. It is symbolic. A stadium says that the artist has reached a level where tens of thousands of people can gather in one place for the same performance. And BTS has reached that level in city after city. The current American run is particularly significant because it follows the group's return from hiatus. CBS Baltimore reported when the tour was first announced that BTS would perform at M&T Bank Stadium on August 10 and August 11, with the broader 2026-27 tour spanning multiple continents. Now that those dates are finally here, the announcement has become reality. The posters are no longer simply promotional images. The tickets are no longer just digital confirmations. The stadium is no longer a future destination. It is happening. For ARMY traveling to Baltimore, the journey may begin hours or even days before the concert. Some will drive through the night. Some will board trains. Some will fly. Some will arrive with suitcases filled with concert outfits and merchandise. Others will carry only a backpack and a light stick. But they are all moving toward the same place. M&T Bank Stadium. And the closer they get, the more obvious the BTS presence becomes. A purple light stick here. A BTS shirt there. A Jungkook banner. A Jimin slogan. A Taeyoung photo card. A Jin reference. An RM-inspired outfit. A Suga shirt. A J-Hope dance reference. Suddenly, the city feels different. For a few days, Baltimore becomes part of the BTS universe. And that universe is enormous.